Welcome back to my channel. How's everybody doing out there? I just came back from visiting my mom. For those who don't know, she's in a nursing home and we celebrated her 97th birthday in February. And I'm just wanting to know, during retirement time for most people, I know for myself, I had so many plans and ideas and hopes and dreams. That was way back then when, you start working and you fill out all the applications and papers and forms to get all of your ducks in a row for the future retirement. You take out your different securities and 401ks, and you prepare your portfolio for the future, basically. Looking forward to all that you have on your heart to do when you finish. For most people, or some people, the 30-year work assignment. So for me, mine was a little different. I mentioned before that I'm on disability retirement. I've been retired for over 20 years and it was not expected, but it is what it is. God's plan for me is always better than I could ever think. And every single day, He just amazes me even more. So I was just wondering how many of you out there are caregiving during your retirement time. I also wanted to know how many of you started out thinking you were going to retire with your spouse. That's what I did. I thought I was going to retire. I was married at the time, early on. So my dream and hope was, we get married, we have children, they grow up, we retire, and we go on with our lives. We take our portfolios, enjoy our lives, we take cruises and go around the world if we desire so, because we've already done the portion of work that we should have done, early on. That was my thought. So many things have changed over the years for me. Of course, I got a divorce. My husband passed away before that, though. No, wait, sorry. How did that go? Oh, I got a divorce, and then later on, he passed on anyway. But the point being, all of my plans changed. I thought I was going to be free to do whatever I wanted to do once I retired after my kids were grown, after my grandchildren were grown. I took care of them as well as, raised my two sons. And with all the craziness that I experienced throughout all of the raising of my two sons alone, God's been good to me in exceptional ways. He raised his sons, so well. I'm so thankful for how He raised both of my children. I'm so thankful for the wonderful sons that He blessed me with, the wonderful daughter-in-laws that I have from my sons, and the beautiful grandchildren, one of each, boy and a girl. God is amazing. And I'm just wondering, how does the rest of the world feel when they finally get to the retirement age, and probably 90 to almost 100% of what you planned out is totally different. I'm not even complaining about it or questioning God about it, because although I ended up taking care of my mom instead, that was just a transition. I retired, moved on, and just so happens, God alone, I'm available to take care of my mom. And taking care of my mom was never an issue for me. It's just me and my brother left at this point. She had three of us. One of my siblings passed away early on, a few years ago, but nevertheless, it was just me and my brother, my younger brother remaining. So when the task came about, I knew it was going to be me because my brother, he's a musician and he's all the way in a different state, a lot of factors. So I just knew that it was going to be me to take care of my mom. And things went really well. I downsized from my first home to a ranch to accommodate my mom. Don't have to worry about stairs and this kind of thing. I did a lot of things to accommodate my mom because we were going to be roomies. Okay, so I did what was required. And lo and behold, things went south after a couple of years. I'll say about 7 years later, yeah, things went south. My mom got very ill, and we had to eventually put her in a nursing home. So now I have transitioned from caring for my mom in the home, which was no problem. I'm a non-medical caregiver, and I love caring for people. So of course, if I had to care for my mom, that was going to be no problem for me, and it wasn't. So now, today, y'all, this was a tough day for me. When I visited my mom today, and I take this 1 hour trip as often as I can to see her. I tried to get her in a nursing home closer to me, but the waiting list was so long. And by the time I finally got a response, my mom had been in the home that she's at now for 2 years. And if you don't know, after your loved ones are in nursing homes, assisted living, etc., away from your home, they become family with those that care for them, you know? Because initially my mom she was furious when she knew that she was going to have to be in a home. However, I finally got her to understand it's not that I don't love you, it's that I cannot provide a quality of life for you that I believe you deserve. Once I could not feed, medicate, or bathe my mom, it was time for me to recognize we had to go to the next level. And I did. Reluctantly, but I did. So, today seeing my mom, 97, and I thank God for the nursing home that I'm at. The care that she's being given is amazing to me. They never know when I'm coming, so what I see every time I go is what I get. It's genuine, you know. So, but today she has a feisty way about her, I have to admit, and often she doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, I give her that. 97, come on, guys. And she didn't want to get out of the bed. I called in advance to let them know she was going to have visitation today. They don't know who, but visitation. So I wanted them to have her refreshed and up in the chair, the wheelchair, so that she can go outside and get some fresh air because I knew it was going to be a fabulously beautiful day, and it was. And long story short, I finally got her outside. Even though she didn't want to, she finally agreed to let the CNAs dress her, and I put a little makeup on her, and I, you know, prettied her up because I have to that's what today's so reminded me of. I always try to encourage my mom to keep moving. You know, 97, some days are better than others. I get it. But laying in the bed, I keep reminding mom that is not going to be okay. You begin to have atrophy in your muscles and you don't move like you want to move. You don't even breathe the way you want to breathe. You have to get up. They don't force you to do anything. They ask, they accommodate. But I have to remind her all the time, Mom, it's okay to ask. They are so compassionate. I'm telling you, this nursing home that my mom is in, I give them 4 to 5 stars, easy, hands down. And they're renovating the entire facility, so that just brings it up another notch. So I just wanted to briefly share that, be aware, be cognizant that just because you made plans for retirement and you have all these goals set, I just want you to step back a minute and remember that it doesn't always work out perfectly the way you planned it to. But I believe you're going to enjoy yourself no matter what. That's where I am right now. All of my plans that I had, I just put I put the book of lists away because it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. My heart is set on caring for my mom at this point, caring for others around me, which I do, serving others, which I do. And it's so refreshing and so relaxing. And so many of the things that I enjoyed, gardening, and one of my favorite things is playing Scrabble. I love to drive. These are some of the things I enjoy doing. I still get those things done. My children, all I have to do is gently suggest what I'm hoping or wanting to do, and it's done. I love them so much for that. God has been so good to me. I'm telling you what. So, being solo, being single during retirement is not as bad as a lot of people think. I know some that have decided they're not going to pursue life anymore. Their spouses have passed away. A lot of the friends that they made plans with that we're going to do this, that, and the other when we retire, a lot of them have passed away or moved away. But that doesn't mean that you shut down. I believe you need to always be in connection with people. I'm a people person. That's what I enjoy doing. I will not be in the home, shut in, and not go out and move about. I'm not going to do that. I exercise still 3 times a week. My diet is critically important to me. Junk in, junk out, that is not happening for me. I don't want anything to disrupt what the Lord has blessed me with. I'm going to keep doing what I'm hearing Him tell me to do concerning all of these matters and all these issues. But do not, those that are retiring or getting ready to retire, don't throw in the towel because you are now solo. I'm solo, but only in word. The Lord God Almighty is with me wherever I go, and I feel His presence. I enjoy His presence, and I enjoy His directives over me. Have a blessed day.